Hi, so I just filmed my November favourites video. This is the 5 best memories tag, and no one has done this tag already now that I know of, because I think I've made it up, and obviously I don't expect that it's gonna get picked up as this big tag and stuff, like, you know how when Andrea's Choice did her Perfect Imperfections, just went over YouTube like that. Obviously this is not going to, but it's just a tag that I thought I'd make up. It was just a video idea that I did in my video ideas, and someone actually said that this would be one they'd be interested in seeing. So yeah. Now I don't have these in any order, but they're just 5 of my 5 best memories. So they're just my favourite 5, but I don't have a favourite order. So they're just as they come to my mind. Okay, number 1 would be in September 2009, me and my best friend Jess, we went to see Coldplay in concert at Wembley Arena. That was the best night ever because we was in the standing standing area, and we got quite near the front really. So that was good, but not so near the front that you get all things thrown over you. Yeah, but and it was so much fun because they played, like, Coldplay is like my I think it's like my favourite band of all time, and so they played all their songs, like, you know, all their old classic ones like Yellow, Fix You, I've just totally forgot. How can they be my favourite band? I forgot. Yellow, Fix You, The Scientist, Clocks, all their old ones, and then they did ones off of their Viva Vida album, because that's what was out when I went to see it. So they did all that, Life in Technicolor, which is my favourite song. It reminds me of me and Jess, just for some reason. And yeah, they did all that, Lovers in Japan, Viva Vida, obviously. All their songs like that, and it was just the best night. And when they did, I think it was when they did Lovers in Japan, all these paper butterflies went all over, like they just released them out of these big streamers, and everyone was trying to catch them, and it was like, when it went to the big bit of it, the song, all the lights blared yellow, and if you look back, it's everywhere. Chris Martin, the lead singer, got to do this like phone Mexican wave, and so instead of in the daylight when everyone would go like that, people had their phones on and held up their phones as it went round the arena. So I didn't actually get to be part of the Mexican wave because I was in the standing, but that was probably even better because I got to see it. So the whole of the stadium seats, they went round, and that was fun. And after, they was giving away these free little CDs of some live show recordings that they'd done of previous dates, and that was really good. And I think it was on the night before their finale night, and we also got to see Girls Aloud, and we saw Jay-Z as well, which was really, really great. And it's funny because Empire State of Mind has become this massive song now, but when we heard him sing it, he was like, this is a new song I've been working on, and we didn't know at the time it was going to come this big song, so I'm always like, oh yeah, I heard that in the beginning. Yeah, that was really fun. We could have seen the White Lies, but because we had school, we didn't get there in time. And then Jess come back and slept over, and it's just the whole concert atmosphere of, like, everyone was singing and, like, jumping around, and it sounds all so stupid, like, oh yeah, the atmosphere, but it really was. And I think if any of you have been to the concert and been in a standing atmosphere, like, I could say that I've been to see Whitney Houston, I've seen the Sugar Babes and stuff, and so you'd think Whitney Houston is this big world-class act, but because I was not in the standing area, it wasn't the same. So I don't think any concert is going to be like a proper concert unless you're in the standing area, because I just think you can be so much more of a part of it. Whereas when I was Whitney Houston, I was like so cut off of it. It was just like I was an onlooker. But that's alright. I mean, it's still just as good. But I think that's the reason what made Coldplay so good, is because it was in the standing. So as I mentioned in my November favourites, when I go see Bon Jovi, we want to try and get kind of the front because that's going to be so great. My next favourite memory, so they're in no order, was on my Barbados holiday. We went on this catamaran, Cool Runnings it was, for the day, and I'd been on catamarans before. I'd been on that one before too, and I'd been on all the other ones like Heat Wave and stuff out in America, not in America, in Barbados. But this day was just like the best day. I don't know what made it so good, but it was just, there was nothing bad about it at all. And yes, I know, we just got on it and it was all sailing, and over the net on the catamaran you could lay down and look into the sea and it would be like the sea movements. The lunch was like probably the best lunch I've ate in my whole life. I've ate in nicer places than like, you know, a catamaran boat ship, but it was just so nice. And obviously the weather's going to be good. The weather's never going to be bad in Barbados. But you know, the lunch was so nice and it was hot. I got a tan. Just the music, the crew was really nice, and then I got to jump off the side of the boat. It was only about 15 feet, but I'd never really done anything like that, and so I jumped off the edge, and in that moment was probably really good, and it's really scary when you're going to jump, but I was so glad that I did. It was only 15 feet, nothing much at all, because I'd never done anything like it. It makes me feel, oh my god, that was so much fun. Yeah, I can't really say why, but just the whole day was good. Like, we saw the fish and went swimming with the turtles, and maybe it's because I'm older now than when I've been on catamarans before. I can appreciate it more and remember it more, so maybe that's why. But that was one of the best days ever. Another of my bestest ever days was this day when me and my friend Jess, we went up to London, and it was just two of us, and we didn't really do anything. Actually, we did do something important. We went to the Mac shop in Selfridges for the first time, so that was pretty big, I guess, for any makeup people. But as regards to the rest of the day, we didn't do anything big, but it was just we like always sit on this little step on this street outside Bond Street Station, and she got a bag meal and I got McDonald's, and we were just sitting there and we was talking about the whole future and like everything we want to do, like a place we want to visit, all the future, and it was just like, that talk was probably one of the best talks of my life, because it all just was such a like, even if it's not going to happen, I hope it does, but it was like, that was so inspiring, just that little talk. I don't know why, it just made you think about the future and of like all these things and go into it. It made seem all these little tedious things that happen every day that annoy you, makes them seem like nothing, because you just think, I've got the whole future ahead of me and that's going to be so great. And so it was just us talking, and obviously, like, you know, it was with Jess, so that was a good day. And you know, after that we went to the Mac shop, and I chose out it's the day before prom, I think, or a few days before prom. I chose out my Mac Studio Tinted Moisturiser. I picked out the Laguna bronzer to give someone for my birthday present, and I bought the NARS Niagara lipstick. I remember what I bought. But yeah, I don't know what it was about the day, but the day was just perfect. And that's the thing, all these days are just perfect days that I've had. So my other favourite day was Halloween 2009. Me and my family was in Florida, and we went to SeaWorld for the day. And this was before the horrible, horrible accident with the SeaWorld trainer. And it was when Shamu still swam with the people. And the day was just such a happy place. I still think that the happiest place in the world is Florida, and it's not just when you're in Disney. It's just being in Florida, I'm the happiest that I ever am. I know that London is my favourite place, but Florida to me is just like the best place, and if I could ever move there, it would just be so great. I'd love to move to Orlando or somewhere like that. Yeah, it's not, for me, it's not even about the attraction places and stuff like that. It's just, I even going to like the diners, like I love Denny's, just, I love Florida, and even going to the supermarket, and it's not just because it's like a phase being a holiday, just like being in the apartment. It's also, there's just like something in the air, I don't even know. And I mean, those of you that might live in Florida might be like, what is she talking about? But for me, that's what Florida is. Just, I could sit in the room, it's just, the rooms, and just, everything about it. My best holidays I've ever had have been in Florida. Anyway, so on Halloween we went to SeaWorld and they had this whole trick-or-treat thing, and I know that you're thinking, oh yeah, I was like 15 at the time, a bit old for trick-or-treating, but it's kind of like, I was so happy. We went around with these little bags they gave us and getting all the stuff from the SeaWorld people, and then we saw the soooo show, and that was also happy because we saw the music and stuff, and we saw the dolphins, we stroked them, and dolphins are like one of my favourite free animals. My favourite free animals are monkeys, elephants and dolphins, but that's like another video. And yeah, this day in Florida was just like the best ever, and yeah, all of these days I just can't describe what they was, but I just remember them being the perfect days when I was so happy, and they're just days I like will always remember. So yeah, this day at Florida was just so great. The entire holiday was great, but that day really stood out as my best Halloween I've ever had for sure. Summer 2009 was my best ever, like in fact the whole 2009 was the best year of my life. Like it was so good, and I can't know why. I think it's just the best summer. Like me and my friend just really reached that like maximum friendship, not like a peak because that it's going to drop from now on, but it just, that was the best summer. Like it was just so together, and everything about the summer was perfect, yeah, and so this was just a sleepover. I slept over hers, and we did all this. I was dancing around to these songs, and the next day we went Westfield with our mum because we wouldn't want to go forever, and so we went. Sorry, I'm combing my hair. It's just that's the bit I want to sort out. Yeah, and we did all this stuff, and then I think we made shortbreads or something, and we put on these like weird eyebrow makeup to make us look like really thick eyebrows. To those photos, it's really funny. We did like this face teabag thing, and we were sitting, and it just, we did not stop laughing, and it was the best sleepover I think that I've ever had. So yeah, these are my 5 best days, and I'm already guessing this is going to be a really long video. So I'm really sorry about that. If you liked it, okay, bye.